any sensations. And that's absolutely fine as well. Just acknowledge that whatever is there is there. Bringing awareness through the top of the head, to the forehead. I guess in terms of where I felt the chakras were in their sort of vibrational quality and what was going on with them, most your chakras were generally in a really, really good place. So I don't know whether you practice any kind of meditation or whether it's just all the therapies and things that you do. But you seem to be in a reasonably good place. Chakras do change and move, as does energy within us, and it goes to the areas that we need it most. Come in, grab a seat.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you, Melissa.
Nice to meet you too.
So, with the Reiki session, so we've got an hour and a half together. As it's your first session here, what we'll do is we'll go through a questionnaire just so we get an idea of your well-being and your intention for Reiki. And once we've been through the questionnaire, it's just a consent form for you to sign. Then we can start with the Reiki.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. But first, have you got any questions about what we're about to do about the Reiki session?
Is the focus all over the body, or is it mainly on the head or face?
Sure.
Or?
So what we tend to do with Reiki is focus on the main chakras. So there's 7 main chakras in our body, in our system. There's the crown chakra, which is at the top of the head, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, which is about far below your belly button, and the root chakra, which is at the base of the coccyx. So right at the base of the spine is the coccyx, it's just below that.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the 7 main energy centres in our bodies, in ourselves. And so what I'll be doing is I will be allowing Reiki to flow through me. And I guess the easiest way to describe it is the Reiki will overflow from my hands, and I'll place my hands close to, just lightly touching the chakra, and your energy system will take in what's required. It's as simple as that. So I'm not giving you my energy, I'm not taking any energy away, all I'm doing is transmitting, allowing Reiki to pass into you, but your energy system is taking what it needs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Reiki's a really natural energy. It's universal life energy. All living things have it within them. And sometimes when we're feeling stressed or tired, or there's something difficult going on in our lives, the energy can move and change, and we can need a little bit more energy, or we might need it replacing some negative energy that we may have held within us, and that's really what the whole session will do. The other thing that I'll do is, once I've been through all the chakra, I may well go back to a chakra, depending on what's going on with your chakras. I will finish the session by touching the knees, the ankles, and the feet. So that's a really important part of the session, because that allows yourself to ground.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we'll be powering you up with Reiki, and then grounding you back down and making sure everything's nice and comfortable for you as we come out of the Reiki session.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you're okay with me touching the knees, the ankles, the feet?
Yeah, completely.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. So that's what's going to happen. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I was initially, because I think sometimes there's touching, but then sometimes there's not, and I never really know the difference. Or,
So Reiki can be done completely hands off, with the hands hovering, anywhere from a centimetre away to a few inches away. But it can also be done by laying the hands actually on as well.
Okay.
Different techniques are taught in different ways, but in effect, in Western forms of Reiki, generally the hands are off, In Japanese forms of Reiki, the hands are on.
Oh, okay.
And what I tend to do is a bit of a combination, and the most important bit is really the grounding, and I think that really does need hands on.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you floating out of the room at the end.
I'd rather not. But yeah, no, it sounds really exciting. Thank you.
Okay, it's a pleasure. So, any more questions at all? Anything else that you'd like to ask?
I think that's it for questions,
Okay, great. So, like I said, we'll go through this questionnaire. It shouldn't take too long. And once we've done that, I'll give you the consent form to sign. So we'll start with your occupation.
Just a full-time job in London, just assistant admin work.
Okay, sure. And how did you hear about me?
It was an online Google search.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's lovely when Google's doing nice things for us.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I put in.
That's okay. And so I guess, one of the most important questions is, why would you like a Reiki treatment, and what are your expectations from the treatment today?
I think it's often just a recurring symptom for me, but it's usually fatigue and tiredness.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's something off with my body recently. I don't know if it's more of a health thing or if it's more of a spiritual thing, but yeah, just trying to reach that place of relaxation again that I think I had before. So
okay.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. And do you have any expectations from the session today?
Yeah, I'd like to hopefully feel a bit more in tune with myself.
Okay. Sure. Well, if that's what you need, then that's what Reiki will give you, because with Reiki, I can't, or nobody can govern what it does. It's a completely natural energy, it's conscious, it's intelligent, and it will always do the best that it can for an individual.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing, like I said, is just allowing your body to take in Reiki, and it will move and give you whatever is best for you. Yeah? So have you ever had any Reiki treatments before?
Yes.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any problems with it? Were you okay?
I'm never sure, because each time it feels so different.
Yes,
and
it does.
I don't know I know there's different words for it. I don't know if there's different ways of doing it, or just it depends on the person.
Depends on the person, really.
Yeah, so I have had it, but it's always felt different.
Yeah,
so.
But no problems. You haven't felt kind of, I don't know, very, very anxious after it. You haven't had a lot of emotion come up out during the session. Anything?
No, I usually seem to reach this state of calmness afterwards, which is quite.
So no real problems then.
No, it's always a positive feeling afterwards.
Good. That's lovely to hear, and it is for most people.
Yeah, it's good.
And so, how would you describe your general state of health at the moment? And I guess we in the Western world we often just think about physical health, but perhaps maybe think about physical, emotional, mental as well.
Yeah, worn out.
Yeah.
Or all aspects.
All aspects. So body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
Okay. In your medical history, have you had any major operations, any major illnesses at all?
No.
Okay. So no other health concerns or diagnoses?
No.
Okay, great. And this is completely optional. Is there anything in your immediate family's medical history that may be worth sharing with me?
Not that I can think would affect it, no.
No problem at all. And do you get asthma?
No.
No. Okay, that's great. That makes all those questions a lot easier. So there's not much left now. Any allergies or food intolerances?
I have hay fever.
You have hay fever. Okay.
Yeah.
It was bad this year, wasn't it?
Yeah. And maybe gluten, but I don't know if that's relevant.
Okay.
But it's not. I haven't done the proper testing for it yet.
No, sure. Okay. Are you on any prescribed medication?
No.
No. Do you smoke?
No.
Do you drink?
No.
No. Okay. And is there anything you wish me to know about your diet or digestion?
It's recently come to my attention that it's not very healthy.
Okay. Oh no.
Yeah, a bit too much like takeaways.
Okay.
Fast food. But yeah, I am trying to make it better.
Well, you can only do your best, can't you? You have to have the odd treat once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. And how many hours a night do you tend to sleep?
A good 8. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's lovely. And when you wake up, do you feel like you've slept well and that you're rested?
On the weekends, probably, yeah.
Okay.
Not so much on... I don't think I wake up naturally. I wake up because I have to wake up.
On the weekdays?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the alarm means that you don't feel that rested. Okay. Okay. I'd say that's pretty usual for everybody, isn't it, really? And how would you rate your personal energy level on a scale of 0 to 10? So I guess by personal energy level, it's it's not just your physical energy; it's all aspects. It's kind of, I guess, for want of a better word, it's the oomph you've got for life.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully Reiki will give you a little bit more oomph.
I hope so.
And this is just really for the purposes of the session that we'll be doing on the bench here. You're okay to lie on your back, your side, your front?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just make a note of that. So if you were to have any future sessions, then I know you're comfortable with that. More than likely, I will ask you to remain on your back through the session. I may well ask you to turn over.
Okay.
Depending on what I pick up and what my instincts are telling me about the best way to access the chakras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nearly at the end of the questions. How many hours a week do you tend to exercise? We can allow walking.
Okay.
We can allow walking.
Gosh, if it's been per day, I walk a bit in my lunch break. Probably half an hour a day, which is like what?
3.5 hours a week.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you feel you'd like to share about your lifestyle, your current situation, your history, that you think may be relevant to the session?
I can't think of anything too severe, no. Just like a general feeling of like offness and tiredness is just what I've had a lot recently. So.
Okay. Great. Thank you for answering those questions, because it's good to know, because we can't govern what Reiki does. It's lovely to have an intention for it, and that's really what I guess most of this is about. So here's the consent form. So if you have a quick read of that, there's a couple of bits that need filling in there, and if you just sign and print your name, then that would be great.
I might have to check my phone for the address.
That's fine.
I know the name, but I don't know
the name's enough. That's
is it? Okay,
yeah.
I don't know the address.
Don't worry, no problem. That's great. So I'll just give that a little sign down here as well. Okay. And what I do is I keep a record of each session. So if you were to have future sessions, then we can always look back and see what's changed, and what hasn't, and what's been coming up for you, between sessions and the likes. So I'll make a record of how the session goes, what may be going on with your chakras. Would you like me to save a little bit of time at the end of the session just to give you an idea of what I may have picked up from your chakras?
That would be lovely. Yeah.
It's worth me saying though, and I think this is really important to say, and I hope this makes sense, that what I pick up is my truth. Your truth may be different.
Oh, okay.
So I wouldn't want to say that and I don't think it's right for me to say that, give anyone any big shocks or horrors about things that may be going on with their chakra, because it's really just, my intuition as to what, and sort of Reiki that's guiding me as to what may or may not be going on with your chakra. So I can give you an idea of that, but it's important to know that if you feel that's wrong, then that's fine. It's about your truth, not mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem at all. Great. And then at the end of the session, what I'll do is I'll talk you through the aftercare sheet.
Okay.
And I'll leave it there so I don't forget.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. So what we'll do first is I'll dust down your aura.
Okay.
So your aura is a part of the energy system within us that is coming out beyond our skin, beyond our surface of our physical self. So I'll dust that down, because what can happen is we can pick up negative energy. We can, pick up negative energy from people, places, things, and we can also, hold on to energy that's no longer needed. So in dusting it down, I'll remove everything that I can from your aura and send it back to Earth to be converted back into beautiful Reiki.
Okay.
Yeah?
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Great. So if you just stand about there, yeah, that's perfect. So I've just put a little bit of frankincense on my hands. It's a beautiful oil, it's very high vibration, it's really, really good at removing negative energy but also transmitting Reiki. So like I said, I'll just dust down your aura. So we'll start with the crown chakra. And if you could turn around, please. Thank you. Sometimes people feel just that little bit lighter, even after a little light dusting of the aura. There we go. So, we're ready for you to lie down on your back, please.
Thank you.
If at any point you'd like me to stop for whatever reason at all, please just say.
Okay.
Yeah? Nothing will go wrong. We can stop, you can have a sip of water, whatever you need. And the other thing is you've got one very important job to do.
Okay.
And that's relax. Okay? That's all you have to do. Yeah?
Thank you.
If it's okay with you, are you okay to lay your arms on the side of you?
Okay.
If that's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Great. So, what I'll do is I'll just start by just helping you to relax a little bit. And so what I'd like you to do is just become aware of your legs. So bring awareness to the legs. Notice how the legs feel. Notice any sensations that there may be in the legs. And if you can't pick up any sensations, then that's absolutely fine as well. Just acknowledge that whatever is there is there. And just on the next breath, take a really deep breath in, and on the exhale, let go of the legs. Allow them to relax. Have the knowledge that the bench is beneath you to support you so you can fully let go. Perhaps even notice how the out-breath is almost like a sigh of relief as you let go. And now, slowly and gently, move awareness up from the legs to the torso and the arms. And once again, just take note of anything that may be going on in those parts of the body. And if there's interesting sensations to focus on then. Just accept what you feel or don't feel. That's just the way things are in this moment. And once again, taking a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, let go of the torso and the arms. Allow the spine and the shoulders to relax. Allow the arms and the hands to get heavy. And now, again, very slowly and very gently, moving that awareness up again one more time to bring awareness to the neck and the head. Noticing anything that may be going on around the neck, also the throat itself. Noticing what it feels like for your head to be in contact with the pillow. Noticing any pressure there, noticing the support, perhaps even the softness. Bringing awareness through the top of the head, to the forehead, just allowing that to relax a little bit more. Awareness of the cheeks, noticing what's going on in the jaw. Perhaps just allowing the jaw to relax a little bit more. Sometimes we hold tension in the jaw without even being aware. And slowly moving awareness to the lips and the tongue. Again, just allowing them to relax. And taking one more deep breath in. And really letting go of the neck and the head. And just allow your breath to return back to its normal rhythm, its normal length. And just keeping a light touch of awareness on the breath. If you find yourself getting distracted in any way, and just gently and slowly bring yourself back to that awareness of the breath. begin to very slowly connect back with this moment in time. Connect back with the knowledge of the room that we're in. Slowly bring awareness to the heart. Notice any emotions that may be within the heart. Perhaps notice the quietness of the emotions there. Whatever there is, just accept it in the understanding that emotions come and go. Now gently move awareness up to the mind. Again, notice any thoughts that may be within, or perhaps the lack of thoughts, the quietness of the mind. And like you did with emotions, just observe them, accept them, and understand that thoughts also come and go. Now, gently move awareness to the top of the head. And allow awareness to flow down from the head, all the way down the body, all the way down the legs, right down to the tips of the toes. Notice how the body feels in this moment. And slowly start to introduce movement to the body by just moving the fingers and the toes. Gently moving the ankles and the wrists. Extending that movement to stretching any part of the body that you feel you'd like to. Now taking a deep breath in, and as we exhale, gently opening the eyes, allowing light in, allowing the eyes to adjust. Still holding on to that sense of stillness, a sense of calm, a sense of peace. Now there's no rush at all. Take your time, but whenever you're ready, you can gently and slowly sit up as we come to the end of the session. So, how do you feel now?
I feel very, very calm.
Good. Good. And did you feel anything, notice anything during the session itself?
Yeah, it's quite funny because at the start I almost was trying to take mental notes of what I was feeling so I could say, but then halfway through I just literally was just like gone. I was so zenned out that I stopped taking these notes, but
that's
yeah,
okay.
I remember at the start when you were saying you don't necessarily have to feel something when you take your awareness to each place, which was really nice because there's some areas where I was like, I don't really know what I feel there.
And that's fine, and that's it's a lovely practice of just simple acceptance of the way things are.
Yeah.
You know, whether you feel a tingle or a bit of warmth or a bit of pressure, or whether you don't, it kind of doesn't really matter. It's just the way things are.
Yeah.
You know, and accepting that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's
You know,
really
and you can
nice.
extend that to all aspects of life. Just going, okay, well, that's just the way it is.
Just acceptance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It happens to a lot of people where they think, oh gosh, you know, I felt this and I felt that, but I can't remember what it was. You know, but sometimes people feel the warmth of the Reiki as the hands are moving from place to place. Sometimes people feel tingles. Sometimes people see colours. Sometimes people don't see any of that.
Yeah.
You know?
There was a moment, I don't know whereabouts because I couldn't see where you were. I think it was definitely the top half. I did see like a lot of white, which was kind of cool. I was like, oh, white.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, tingles because I've had a lot.
Yeah. And it doesn't, you know, feeling things or not feeling things doesn't mean it's working, it's not working, you know, because like I said at the start, you know, it is about me offering your energy system Reiki and your energy system taking what it wishes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about anything more or less than that. Great. So I'll very quickly give you an idea of what I felt, and you know, I will say it again that, you know, it is kind of what I feel. It doesn't necessarily mean it's your truth, and I think overall, well, there's two things really to begin with. Firstly, it was your energy system was ready for Reiki, and it seems to know it, which probably relates back to you having had other sessions. So, you know, when I'm giving Reiki to somebody who has done some kind of Reiki training or Reiki courses and they've been attuned, or people who've had Reiki in the past, it's interesting because it quite often feels like, you know, their body, their energy system knows Reiki, and they're going, oh yes, I'll have a bit of that, please. I'd like some more. So it's very responsive to Reiki. It felt to me like the energy flowed really well. There was a few areas where your energy system felt like it was really sucking in lots of Reiki.
Okay.
And there was quite a few of those areas with yourself. So the crown chakra was really taking in lots of energy.
Okay.
The heart was taking in lots of energy. The solar plexus was, and the sacral and the root. So all of them, and out of those, the one that was really taking quite a lot of energy in was the sacral. And that was, you know, that was really taking in, you know, quite a lot of energy. And the sacral, of course, is two aspects. You know, one is sort of sexuality, libido, intimate relationships. The other one's creativity. And so, you know, it's not to say that taking in lots of energy is bad or a good thing. It's just what was going on with the chakras. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Then chakras were in their sort of vibrational quality and what was going on with them. You know, most your chakras were generally in a really, really good place. So I don't know whether you practice any kind of meditation or whether it's just all the therapies and things that you do. But you know, you seem to be in a reasonably good place. You know, chakras do change and move, as does energy within us. And you know, it goes to the areas that we need it most. So you know, things do change and move, and that's just the way things are. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get our chakras in as good a place of balance as we possibly can. But of course, external impacts sometimes come hit us, and we get a little wobble with our chakras. So there was a couple of chakras that were just slightly low. The throat chakra was slightly low, and the throat chakra represents communication and expression.
Okay.
So that could be, you know, if you've spent all day talking in meetings or, you know, something like that, the throat chakra could be a little bit low.
Okay.
It could be if you have a sense of feeling that you're not being listened to or heard by others. It could be if there's something that perhaps you're working on to try and understand how to express that to yourself. So all of those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So you get an idea of, you know, they work on a surface level, but then they work all the way to kind of, you know, quite deep stuff like self-expression and things like that. So that was just, and it was only slightly low, so I wouldn't, you know, it's you know, that's what happens, and it came up really, really nicely with the Reiki, and it got itself into a wonderful place. The other one that was slightly low as well was the root chakra. Now, the root chakra, of course, is about feeling grounded.
Okay.
feeling grounded, feeling safe and secure. So, a lot of people who live in big cities like this one, or work in big cities like this one, feeling grounded is not easy. In a busy Western city and the likes. But considering that, your chakra wasn't in a bad place. But again, it took in lots of energy and it lifted really nicely. But maybe there's something that's changed for you recently. Sometimes, a change of job, a change of, social friends, partner, change of home, a change of those sorts of things, and those sorts of things that can, move and change that chakra. But I'd say, overall, you're in a pretty good energetic place. I think what was going on for you, and you mentioned that sort of fatigue and tiredness.
Yeah.
It could just have been, the need for Reiki because your body was absorbing plenty of it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Great.
It's really fascinating, hearing that.
Yeah, and all the chakras, stand for different things. You've got confidence and self-esteem here in the sacral chakra, in the solar plexus. You've got, kind of love, compassion, empathy, and friendships, family, relationship, all sorts of things in this one. And they all stand for something different. And they don't just cover those emotional aspects; they also cover the physical aspects in those areas. But as a Reiki practitioner in the Western world, that's not something we focus on because we allow Western medicine to do that.
Yeah.
So, but that's it, that's where you
so
are.
much.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely meeting you.
It was lovely session. Oh, it was lovely meeting you too. So there's only one thing left, and that is the aftercare sheet.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I'll leave you with the aftercare sheet. You can take this with you.
Okay.
And this just outlines a couple of things that are worth doing just to allow the Reiki to integrate into your own energy system.
Okay.
So, the suggestion is to avoid carbonated drinks and just stick to water. Try to avoid alcohol and caffeine if you can for maybe sort of 24 hours. Well, you don't drink anyway, actually. So so try to avoid caffeine if you can until certainly mid-morning tomorrow, if that's possible.
Okay.
And just maintain a nice healthy diet, I'm afraid. So none of that fast food. And what that does is that just allows the Reiki to integrate into your own energy system in a really lovely way.
Okay.
And you may feel different things over the course of the next 12, 24 hours. You may not. But my number's there, so if there's anything that comes up or happens that you're a little bit kind of thinking, okay, what's going on, or maybe I'll ask about this, or just feel free to drop me a message and I'll get back to you as quickly as I possibly can.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely have a look over this.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Will you take care?
Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.